Today I want to talk about decoupling in Star Citizen, and now I'm not coming in with any strong opinions that something needs to change or anything like that. I just kind of want to start a discussion and see what the community has to say about this. Decoupling in Star Citizen is kind of weird after coming from Elite Dangerous, which is a similar system but also very different than Flight Assist Off. Now I think it's weird because decoupling doesn't really give you any major advantages like the Flight Assist Off system does in Elite Dangerous. So I'm going to dive into the Elite Dangerous system for those of you who haven't played the game or aren't 100% familiar with that. And Flight Assist On is the way that you normally fly the spaceships in Elite Dangerous. Basically, it just makes it so that the ship will stop your momentum in any direction, whether you roll, pitch, yaw, any of those directions. The Flight Assist is going to stop you and try to bring you to zero, whether you're going forward, going reverse, strafing left, strafing right, anything like that. Now, in the lore of Elite Dangerous, the way that the flight assist works is the ship is always fighting against you, or not letting you get the maximum potential out of the ship so that it can always bring you back to that zero more easily. This leads to the system when you turn flight assist off, your ship is significantly more maneuverable and has, it's not faster in a straight line, but the yaw, the pitch, the roll, everything is faster because the ship is no longer fighting you when you make these movements. There's also another difference between decoupling in Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous. Like, there's no stability control in Elite Dangerous, so it's a little bit harder to learn how to fly Flight Assist Off than decoupled in Elite Dangerous. This leads to a system where turning Flight Assist off is significantly harder to fly because your ship, if you pitch, it's just going to keep on doing that momentum until you actually have to manually stop it. So you have to learn how to control your ship in these systems, but it also gives you a major advantage when you master this of your ship being significantly more maneuverable and being able to get more time on target and stuff like that for combat, and being able to just do a bunch of other crazy maneuvers that you would not be able to do with Flight Assist On. This leads to a very rewarding system for learning how to fly a significantly more difficult way to fly, and adds a lot more depth to the flight system in Elite Dangerous. So my question is, with decoupling in Star Citizen, only has very niche uses where it's not super rewarding to learn how to fly decoupled. And I understand that there are things like being able to do trick landings that are nice, or if you're going super fast in a certain direction, you can decouple quantum another direction, which is also nice. And if you're at the top end of racing, you can use decoupled for hitting some crazy maneuvers while you are racing. But for the most part, most people are a lot better off just leaving it on, and you do not get any significant advantages for turning it off and learning how to fly in a more difficult system to fly without your ship assisting you. Now, there is one kind of what I would consider toxic trait that decoupling adds. And that's where if you're in a bigger ship with less maneuverability, you can just go above SEM speed and turn on decoupled and flip around and turn whatever fight you're into is more of a shield, and bigger guns matter more than maneuverability and skill. But I think CIG is going to address that. So for this video, I'm not even going to count that really against decoupling because I think that's something that they're going to fix in the future. So the main question I'm getting to here is, should CIG make it more rewarding to fly decoupled in their current flight system? And I'm really not sure if that's something the game needs or if it would enhance the game at all. So I'm going to run through some pros and cons of leaving it the way it is or making it more rewarding to decouple. We will start with the pros in this. And for the first one, it would be a very rewarding and skill-based system to gain an advantage in a flight. To expand upon that a little bit, I think that with the current flight model, it is still very rewarding for practicing and getting good at flying for combat and beyond, but this would just bring it to the next level where you got good at the flight system. Now there's another challenge on top of that to get even better at it. It would add even more of a reason to decouple and fly in a harder to fly in system. And now I understand that there are already reasons to do it, but this would just bring it to the next level and make decoupling more worthwhile to use in the game. It could also add significantly more depth to the combat system for people who are good at combat to dig their teeth into, to even improve their skill furthermore and be better at the game. Alright, let's start jumping into the cons. And for the first one, it would make it a lot harder for people to get into PvP. And it potentially could discourage people from even trying to get into PvP if it if they were having a hard time flying decoupled or anything like that, because they would just feel that they would have lost before they even start, and it could lead to a system of people giving up before they even start to learn how to get into PvP. For the second con, it would widen the gap between like the sweaty PvPers and what I'm going to consider the more normal people just trying to play the game or have a full-time job or just other life obligations that don't allow them to dump as much time into the game. And this could be a problem because it could just lead to a system where if you get quantum interdicted by some of these sweaty PvPers, you just don't even stand a chance. Where in the system right now, you can kind of get lucky or potentially get away, but if they widen the gap, it could lead to a system where people are just kind of out of luck as soon as they get interdicted by one of these types of players that have spent the time to get better. And for the final and last con I could think of, I'm not sure Star Citizen even really needs more depth. I think it already has a very in-depth combat system that is very rewarding and fun to try out, so it may not even need this, and it might just be a pointless thing to add that would cause more problems than it is worth. At the end of the day, though, we'll probably have to wait and see where the flight model ends up in Star Citizen to even be able to determine if this is a worthwhile endeavor or not for CIG to undertake. So after several days of pondering the pros and cons and thinking about this, I'm still unsure of where I line up on this. But I just had the thought and wanted to make a video and see what all you guys think. So do you guys think Elite Danger or Star Citizen should do a system that is more like Elite Dangerous, where it's rewarding to fly in decoupled mode, or do you think that it is fine the way it is? Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.